What's going on, guys? Asian Guy here, bringing you my thoughts and opinions on Thoma the Tank Engine, the new 4-star pyro character incoming to Genshin Impact. Now, the character demo has been out, I believe, for a couple of days now, but I have yet to watch it. Neko's already snaked me and watched it, but it is what it is. So let's get straight into it, and I will give you guys my thoughts and opinions on whether he's a good character or not. He is currently available in-game as well. For those of you who don't know, if you play his Hangout, you can actually play with him. But without further ado, let's take a look at the character demo. Hopefully it's not too loud.
The way I see it, housekeeping is a unique skill set. Cleaning, cooking, and mending are among my greatest strengths. I'm not from Inazuma originally. I took a boat all the way here from Mondstadt. Inazumans are definitely more particular about etiquette than Mondstatters. On that note, if you ever want my lady's opinion, you may have to coax it out of her. She's so polite, she doesn't always speak her mind. People whose attention is always focused on other people's weaknesses tend to expose their own weaknesses pretty easily.
Oh, facts! Facts!
Check this
So that's the free-to-play weapon. He's such a Giga Chad. He's so cool.
Hey, how about we go for a nice meal sometime? My treat, of course.
The ultimate gentleman. One of my favorite character designs as well. So, all we learn from that is something we already knew, that Thoma is a Giga Chad and is like the ideal alpha male. So, Thoma, is Thoma the Tank Engine good? Thoma the Tank Engine, now, he is a character that will scale off HP. So, the one good thing about characters that scale off HP, guys, is that they're easier to build than characters that want crit rate, crit damage, elemental mastery, energy recharge, and attack percent, right? All you really need is like HP percent, a lot of base HP or flat HP, and on top of that, you want probably like energy recharge. So, in terms of being F2P friendly, in terms of building him, he's a lot more accessible than, for example, a character that can do a lot of different things. He is not going to be a damage dealing character. I can tell you that much for sure. He will not be a damage dealing character because this talent is a shield talent and something a lot of people love, because one of the most used characters in Spiral Abyss, if not the most used character in Spiral Abyss, is Zhongli. And it's really for his shield. Yeah, he gives you more damage and gives you crowd control as well, but it's really because that shield is super duper good. Now, this shield is not anywhere near as good as that shield. However, this is the only other shield in the game where you can essentially have no downtime for extended periods of time. Like, for example, Diona or Noelle, you can use their shields, but there will be a period where you're vulnerable and their shields will come off cooldown. Thoma, on the other hand, can actually reset his shield's cooldown and start allowing them to stack up, making it possible for you to have a very, very large shield. And the way this would work is you use your elemental skill, then your elemental burst, and your elemental skill again. However, for the fluidity, for the sake of fluidity, to make this actually viable, one, you have to be very calculated in how you're playing, and two, if you want an easy time, you gotta have the constellations. Now, you might be thinking, oh no, another character that doesn't get good until you have constellations. But realistically speaking, guys, most characters at Constellation 1 or 2, it really does make a big difference. For 4 stars, and I would say over the period of this game, however long you've been playing it, you probably already have some 4-star characters with constellations on them. Now, does that mean you have to go all in and pull for Thoma on the incoming Hu Tao banner? The answer is no, because if you don't like Hu Tao, guys, then this banner might end up being a stinker for you. Thoma is a good support for Hu Tao. Thoma is not, however, going to be like the pyro version of Xingqiu or the just a pyro version of Zhongli. It's not going to happen. He's not going to be that strong. I think he's going to be a balanced character. I think he's going to be a great 4-star, especially if you can get him to Constellation 2. Would be really, really nice. And then you have like Constellation 4 are more quality of life things, like for example, restoring 15 energy for his ultimate or his elemental burst. Again, that's not that big of a big deal. This is just 3 more levels and obviously bigger numbers, and this will give you more damage. But in terms of his kit, C1 and C2 is what you're really looking at for Thoma. So it's nothing outrageous unless you're extremely unlucky, because everybody knows now 4-star characters, if you're really lucky, 1 multi and it's done. If you're unlucky, you can go to like Constellation 1, Constellation 2 of the banner 5-star and not even pull a single copy of the 4-star. So it can be very frustrating. I'm hoping I can get one copy and dip because I do have Hu Tao already. Despite Hu Tao being one of my favorite female characters, I don't actually play with Hu Tao that much. I even have an R5 Homa. I have that on Zhongli. I have a spare R1 Homa that I have on Hu Tao. My Hu Tao stats are pretty good as well. It's just that I find her gameplay a little bit boring. It's just charge attack, charge attack, charge attack, charge attack, or it's E, charge attack, charge attack, charge attack, alt. And, you know, you pair her up with Xing Cho and she obliterates so many different things. She is a hilarious character. I love her design, but honestly, I'm not that big of a fan of like Vaporize or Melt and playing with that, just seeing big Unga Bunga numbers. I like seeing big Unga Bunga numbers, but I don't like seeing them from reactions, if that makes sense. I don't know why that is, but that's just me. However, the thing that Hu Tao wants is a shield. So you either want Zhongli, you either want Noelle, you either want Diona, you either want Thoma in this regard, or even Jin Yan. But the thing is, in terms of all of those shields, obviously Zhongli is the best. But if you're playing Spiral Abyss, or you don't have Zhongli, or you just don't want to play with Zhongli because you don't like Zhongli, Thoma is another option out there, which is going to be pretty darn nice. And you'll have double Pyro Resonance in your team. So if you have 2 Pyro characters, you're going to get a nice cheeky bonus. So if we go out here and you're wondering where I have Thoma, by the way, this is just in Thoma's hangout. So honestly speaking, it's a little bit sad that he's not going to be a character that does ridiculous amounts of damage, because his attack string, in my opinion, is one of the coolest attack strings in the game. Like, hands down, he has a very, very, very cool attack string. And then, yeah, I just wish he could do damage, but the best you will get out of him is probably like a bruiser, because he scales off HP. His damage will also scale somewhat off HP. So he's similar to Zhongli in the sense that you will probably be able to make him into a bruiser. There are many good weapons for him, guys. The new incoming weapons banner. Now, if you have a heavy, vivid dream, and you have seen what's incoming on the new weapons banner, and straying away from leaks, okay, what I can promise you is, just out of pure speculation and common sense, we got Hu Tao and Homa, or Thoma, coming on the same banner. Of course, we're going to get the Staff of Homa. And on top of that, they have already announced we are getting 2 new 4-star weapons. Now, these 2 new 4-star weapons are pretty darn good. They're pretty darn good. So, just to throw this information out there, if you are a casual player and you're wondering, and you really want Hu Tao and Thoma, whether it's better to go for Constellation 1 Hu Tao or the Staff of Homa, to go with either Thoma and the Staff of Homa or Hu Tao and the Staff of Homa, in terms of ease of play, and how good the weapon is, and how good the weapons banner might be, because I am suspecting it's going to be a crazy weapons banner. Staff of Homa plus C1 Hu Tao, or Staff of Homa plus C0 Hu Tao, in my eyes, is way easier and way more straightforward, and will do way more for a casual player than C1 Hu Tao. The only time C1 Hu Tao is going to be better is if you have really invested into your Hu Tao and you really do understand how to cancel your animations, and you want to do that every single time. Because even if you are able to do the cancellations for animation cancellations for Hu Tao, because C1 Hu Tao basically just saves you stamina, you can do jump cancels. Even if you know how to do that, you still might not want to do that. So then the Staff of Homa is nice. And the thing with the Staff of Homa is that it's going to work on Thoma. It's gonna work. It works nicely on Shangli. It works nicely on Xiao. It works really, really nicely on Zhongli as well. It's universal. Now, Hu Tao, if one day you decide, oh, actually, I don't really want to play with her, that constellation is basically dead. It's completely useless to you. But on the flip side, you have the Homa, which you can shuffle onto many different characters. Now, the downside is the weapons banner is very, 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 very expensive. So if we take a look here, if you lose this first pity, and then the second pity, and then you have to go to a third pity, that's around 190 pulls you have to do. Now, 190 pulls is roughly around 2.5 pities on the normal character banner, where if you go to around 75 each, it would be around that. Now, again, you can lose to 50-50 on this banner, but you got to remember, Thoma will be here with Hu Tao. So while you're chasing Hu Tao constellations, you might pick up Thoma constellations on the way as well. But ultimately, it will just come down to luck. Whether a banner is worth it or not, you can only find out after you've done the pull. So it's impossible to say, is the banner worth it? The only thing that you can really determine is how good are my chances, because even if you have a 99% chance, there's a 1% chance that you're going to fail and it's going to flop and it's going to be terrible. You could do one multi and you could get the 5-star bow or the 5-star weapon or the 5-star character in your first multi. You do a second multi and you can get a back-to-back 5-star. You could end up doing 20 multis and not getting what you want. So there is all of those things that you have to consider. You can do 20 multis on here and genuinely not get anything you want. That would be heartbreaking. On this banner though, if you do 20 multis, you are guaranteed to get what you want. So there's that kind of thing you have to weigh up. In terms of characters in general, I don't think DPS characters are the most important thing you have to prioritize if you want to be a sweaty player. I think having supports that enable any of your damage dealing characters is the way to go forwards. Like, the supports are your foundation. Without a strong foundation, nothing on top of the foundation will be able to thrive. So for me, it's going to be characters like Thoma, Zhongli, Xingqiu, Bennett. These are like the really, really fantastic characters to have. You have great 4-star damage dealing characters. For example, Shangling is a great damage dealer. Beidou is a great damage dealer. There's plenty of characters you can build that can do damage. You know, genuinely like Kaya, Zhongli, even the Traveler, whatever. You can make them to do damage. Raiden, Shogun as well. All of these characters can shine as long as they have the right support. So Raiden is kind of an exception because she is like a support but also a damage dealer at the same time. So ultimately, guys, to answer your questions, Hu Tao or Thoma, or Staff of Homa or Staff of Thoma, I am on the side, because I am someone that spends on the game, I'm not F2P, I'm on the side of the weapons banner. Try your luck. If it's a good weapons banner, if the other 5-star weapon is good, and I'll be surprised if it's not, then go for it. Because if the 4-stars aren't, I already am aware there's going to be 2 really good 4-star weapons on there. And 4-star weapons, even on an F2P account, can go a long, long, long way. Especially the limited ones that are only tied to the weapons banner. They can make a big difference. The example being this Claymore here. Akuomaru is actually a very good Claymore. So if I had that Claymore, it would make my life easier. I don't have to rely on prototypes and RNG in the game. Favonius Lance is a great weapon. Rust is a good weapon. And then Favonius Sword is okay as well. Eye of Perception is a bit copium. But ultimately, if I pulled any of these weapons, these will genuinely make my account and my life easier for a lot of different characters. And all that weapon EXP you have sat in your account doing nothing, you'll finally have a reason to use it for something as well. Constellations for characters are only if you're really, really committed to the character and you think it's going to change your gameplay drastically. I don't think Constellation 1 or Hu Tao, which I do have on my main account, really changes her gameplay that drastically. But it depends on your playstyle. And of course, the banner, it's gonna have, I keep calling him Homa. It's gonna have Thoma on it as well. Thoma's Constellation 1 and 2 are pretty darn good. So yeah, that is my take on it. He's not gonna be a game-breaking character. I think he's a balanced character. I think he's gonna be a very fun character to learn and play around as well. So that is my 2 cents on all of it. I've waffled a lot. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Apologies, I did skip Genshin Monday. I've been trying to take a little bit of a break and cut back on content. I'm a little bit burnt out with the pyro characters incoming. Hopefully that will reignite my fire instead of burning me out. But yeah, we'll wait and see. And yeah, this was a bit all over the place. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.